Cool. So I wanted to do a position recap of a position I took today. The position ended up with a break even. It was basically on Aussie CAD. It was something that I was forecasting and I was basically having a look at. So we had this override high where we came in with a 1, 2, 3. We rejected, created a flag, pushed down, and then we started correcting back up. Now, obviously, there's always the potential that this can continue correcting and going, but if I am going to be taking a entry, then I will be looking at potentially these sort of zones here. So this was basically on the retest of this and this high over here. So I didn't look to take the entry just based upon the high itself, but basically about what happened when we got to the high. So we did approach the high with some structure. Um, we approached it very correctively, and there is structure within that as well. So originally I was looking at the 1, 2, 3, not too fixed on the 1, 2, 3, more interested in this sort of section over here. This low, obviously coming back to retest and obviously test this high. What I did see was that we kind of pushed up and then we rejected as we got to the third touch. At that point there, I was kind of considering, okay, this is on the 15 minute. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. If there if we have a 1 hour rejection close, then the entry would definitely be, of course, over here. However, I thought, okay, let's look if there's potentially refinement on the 15. So as price rejected, I saw price sit here for 2 candles, and then I was then quite convinced that, okay, this could potentially be the first flag before we sell. So I'll set um, my order down here. And I took around about 10 pips on this one. So I was basically looking to just play this, but protect myself with that high just in case we wicked above. But then obviously bearing in mind that spreads would be there. So looking back on hindsight, yes, I could have probably reduced my stop loss a little bit more, but then again, what I'm taking about 7, 8, 6 pips. So I think definitely leaving it around about 10, 11 was definitely a good shout. Perhaps maybe a bit more. Um, but yeah, so essentially, I then refined down to the 5 minute, put a reduced risk at the bottom over here. I didn't actually take it on that part there. I actually took it around about here. Um, so I saw this break and then pull back up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I might have missed it." And then the pending order, it was actually an instant execution, but in this place of where the pending order would be. And then I took the instant execution for this position over here. 10 pip stop loss, everything already pre-planned, pre-planned when the price was around about here, and then knew that price could potentially come back up here or even come all the way back up here or further. But if I was going to place myself in this trade, there is enough context for me to take this position. So I took it. It was running around about, let's call it a percentage. I wasn't trying to, wait for the exact percent. And then I thought, okay, cool. If I did lock in break even, I would have probably been still in the trade. But I then furthermore locked in around about 6 pips, I believe it was, and then taken out by just by a pip by a spread. But it's okay. I made about 25 pence on that trade. So yeah, not a bad trade. And yeah, so the trade basically pulled back and continued, but with this price being slightly corrective as well, I'm not too convinced that this sell is going to be the sell that I was looking for. So it's not really the price action that I was forecasting when I got into this position. Ideally, I would have been looking for, this flag commits, creates another flag, commits, and so forth, and then we come in for the 90% rule. But how we're approaching this sort of trend, not the sort of price action I want. So more than happy to stay out of this one. Definitely some good pairs on the table. Potentially could take a position on Aussie and New Zealand, Aussie, New Zealand, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks.